be released, whether or not the court had received it or not received it. It took us a little bit of time to actually figure that out over the next day. And at the point we realized that the report could be received by the court if the court requested it of the governor's office, that's when we filed our continuance to alert the court that if the court wanted to do that, we were prepared to allow the court additional time to do it. And by the way, the court's own choosing, if the court either chose not to receive that report or didn't need additional time, we were prepared to go forward with the resentencing hearing.
The judge has received the report?
I do not know one way or the other.
Do you believe the father molested them, though? Do you believe?
So my personal belief on sexual abuse is not actually relevant for these resentencing hearing. The central defense in the Menendez case was not sexual abuse. The central defense, the perpetrated, concocted defense, was actually self-defense. And that's not Nathan Hochman saying that. That is Eric and Lyle Menendez testifying to it. As we've shown in our papers and in the courtroom proceeding, both Eric and Lyle Menendez, when asked the question, was sexual abuse the reason that you killed your father and your mother? The answer was no. What was the reason you did it? Because we believed our parents were going to kill us that night. Their attorney confirmed that as well. Leslie Abramson has said that sexual abuse does not justify murder. It never did, and it never will. That's a quote from her own attorney. So the focus today, I believe, will be on the self-defense defense as part of the lies that the Menendez brothers continue to tell to this very day.
For what you've seen of the risk,
there's some conflicting information. So the state has said only one component of that risk assessment has been released, and that it's also subject to change. So it's essentially a draft. They said the full version would be released on June 13th. But what I'm hearing from you, if I'm hearing correctly, this is the comprehensive risk assessment. So what exactly is it that you're offering?
So the document is called a comprehensive risk assessment. It's not called a risk assessment, and then I added the word comprehensive on top of it. It's actually called a comprehensive risk assessment. It has been provided to, at this point, ourselves. I don't know if the court has actually asked for it and received it. And again, the governor has indicated that it is part of the information that the parole board will receive. Again, it is not the final or the only document that the parole board will receive and rule on. It's probably subject to change over the next 60 days or so. There'll be additional information, I am sure, that the Menendez brothers and their counsels will bring to the attention of the parole board to additionally consider. So again, to the extent it has facts, useful facts, one way or the other, that either justify resentencing or don't justify resentencing, the prosecution does not fear those facts. We just want every part of the factual picture to be before the judge when he makes his decision.
from what you've read so far,
The judge is not accepting your motion to delay. Resentencing is going forward for today. Did the judge say anything about that risk assessment? Is that going to play any part in the next 2 days?
We'll find out in court today what the judge decides on either asking for the risk assessment or his analysis of the risk assessment. I don't have that information right now.
from what you've read so
Delay? Has he not ruled on it at all?
I think that he will rule on it momentarily. I would imagine it'll be probably one of the first things he rules on. And again, we made it clear in our own motion that the request we are considering is basically for the judge's benefit, not the prosecution. We're ready to proceed. And if the judge is ready to proceed, we'll start calling witnesses, or the defense will start calling witnesses today. And if the judge then needs some additional time to then review the comprehensive risk assessment or even ask more questions about it, we made it clear that the prosecution is willing to certainly give the judge any additional time he needs.
from what you've seen of the risk assessment so far, does it back up your claims or your arguments in your belief?
I won't be commenting on the contents of the risk assessment at this point.
Can you tell us who you expect to call in this hearing? I know you said you might not present today, but
The defense will be calling witnesses today. We'll make a decision after the defense calls witnesses whether or not we need to call any. All right. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it.
Señor. You también. Now we can't even get it. That's what happens after 50. I think. Okay, let me see. Got it? Sorry, I was telling you how many hard times. Man.
Hey, sorry about that. Yeah, could you bring it to us? If you get not a battery.
On base. Scotty. Yeah. But I'm careful with that because you kind of wrapped up with other ones. One wrapped up in it. I didn't oh, no, but he was saying that he told me that can be started. Hey.
If you bring it to the corner of
If I have time.
Sylvan,
I was yeah, we had set up the dude.
oh, you're driving.
That's the thing. So I don't know why we started early. Like I asked what time we were doing this.
Okay.
It was like he's gonna do it after court starts, and I said okay. Yeah. And I said, well, I'll get there. And she said I'm gonna get there at 9. And then she's like, no,
You get what you
be there for 9:30. And so I'm assuming everybody's on the same page. I'm gonna be there at 9:30. So they don't know why we started at 9. That was what we talked about. Yeah. Like didn't know when to tell my hey. Like I didn't rush because it says yeah after court.
No, I don't think. I mean, I got the video. I think I saw.
Yeah, like an hour from home. For no reason, I drove here to do this, and then no one thought to tell me that.
I saw the yeah, I saw the email. Said not. It said that he was gonna show till 9:30. I don't know what time it was start, but something told me like last night. Josh called me last night at like 9 p.m. and he was like, "Hey, I just want to make sure you're gonna be there tomorrow." I'm like, yeah, we're gonna be there. I'm like, I'm trying to get to HOJ at 7:30.
When did they change their mind and tell you guys to come?
Because
at first they told me you guys
I'm not sure if you were in the email, but the DA sent me an email. And then
he told you to be here tonight?
he said that he was going to show up to court around 9 today. That was his thing. I'm going to show up to court from 9 to 9:30. And then I'm like thinking, shoot, I got to be there before 9 so that I can set up. But then I saw Pam's email saying that only you were going to show up because Josh didn't want the video team to be here. Wanted to be discreet. But I figured, well, whatever the DA says supersedes anybody else's statements.
Yeah, but he didn't send that message.
And then Josh called me, like, I was putting my son to sleep. He called me at night. He left the voicemail. I was like, oh shit, what's going on? And I didn't call him back, but I heard his voicemail. I'm saying, like, yeah, show up tomorrow, you know, just with the microphone. So, all right, cool. So I am coming. And so yeah, that's why you gotta be careful. Yep. No worries.
Yeah, that's why. Y'all don't find what I saw you. Girl, my girl, I'm so happy to meet you. So nice and kind. Give it out to me. Okay, yeah, see this? Come, me trying to date. You know what I mean? I pick you up, though. Hey, but they just want me out of work. Yeah, I'm not there. But you know what? We probably get too long. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're fine. That's fine. Yeah. We both know where everybody else but this is my first time to yeah, this is my lady when I stand away there and they coming out the church and everybody said, okay, at this point God, he done bailed and took off on me. I think I'm gonna like one of my family
I don't see her. She's super nice. Also, the reporters and the people, especially, are very, very nice.
and I heard my first time and this is my first time so that's why. Yeah. Yeah, they don't. They not like to that people got you. It's been so hard. And nobody gonna believe it. I see like you know how some people it doesn't have to do it did kill the parents.
Okay.
I did that for the people with the woman, like the wife killed that husband. The same thing. If the other one was sister, then they would have still got the prison. How about that? How about you say, oh, man can't wait? What you think? Men couldn't wait too. Men would wait. Why? Exactly. Why? And then one of my who did that? I was like, 20 years old. And then when I heard about the years of marriage, I saw all of the years of I'm like, well, I was listening to long stories about them. And they said they got what kind of sick you do that? Why you get son? What's wrong with you? Like, this is that's a lot of parents do their own child. This is my first time and I never heard of it. I thought you know how some strangers out there, like the whole kid. I thought I heard it until when I heard one of the father do that the own kids too. I never noticed that. What kind of sick people in the world don't want why? Like I'm not gonna sit. But not just kids get raped, adults also get raped too. It doesn't matter the age. What? Exactly.
I was gonna get it.
Right. Right, exactly. Right, exactly. But yeah. Right. Right. Right, that's sad. Sad. When I went to Baby Hill, everybody was taking pictures. So what's going on today? I went, this is my first time there. Exactly. Why exactly? Why exactly? Yeah, you think need to change. I understand some people want you to the way the house is like. But some people need to take a what they call not in jail, but you know what some people think somebody should put the, especially the Mendel Brothers. I think they should put the Mendel Brothers there, and then if anything changes, but don't get me wrong, I said before, that nobody never know. You know what I'm saying? That's sad. But especially the parents, the Mendel Brothers parents should have still up for the you know what I'm saying? Like, you're saying I was not sure.
I know.